back, and it's Rosa Heart. Hi, Miss Fall. How dare you be in the heart twice in a row? Oh. To break the curse, Friend has to overcome Finn in his own mind. A sudden cold den upon me. I wrap my arms around myself and shudder. I turn to look at the king, but he has not moved since my encounter with Sir Mythal. Your Majesty, did I do something? Did I do this to you? Mother, if she were here, she could make sense of it for me. Mother, where are you? I stare at my now turned hands. This is not what I wanted at all. Princess, we can't. I am the crown princess, which is why we can't allow you to leave on your own, Your Highness. It is strange to think just a few months ago, the same men did everything they could to keep me out of the palace. Your Highness, you need an escort if you want to leave. I'll take care of myself. Back to being a nuisance, I see. Sir, they know who he is? I watch in silence as both of the soldiers stand to Fag. Fag turns to smirk at me. Well, what's going on here? The princess wished to leave the palace to visit the town. Does she now? I can feel Fag's eyes on me, but I refuse to look at him. Fine, I will accompany her. But the queen said, the words die in the man's throat as Fag turned to growl at him. His eyes flashed with impatience and enough to cur the soldier into silence. Open the gates. Yes, sir! Thanks, Fag! The gates swing open. I rush out, thinking that maybe, if I move fast enough, I can lose Fag. So what are we here for? Though I tried my hands to shake him off, Fag is still in close. It's impossible to leave him, Princess. Fag leans out and wraps his fingers around my elbow, pulling me into the shadows of the alley. My aim is on, and I look up to glance at him. What are we doing in town? As much as I don't want to agree with these idiot knights, you really shouldn't be wandering around the streets. The next words are cold and snap. Why not? Because that everyone insists I do? And now that the only thing everyone wants is for me to stay indoors. Fag's silent for a moment, before finally letting out an accident sigh. Iron is not what it was, Princess. What are you talking about? Fag places his hand on my shoulder and turns to me so I can look onto the streets. I am not over familiar with the kingdom, but even I can tell something is off. The shops have once had color displayed windows are empty now. Displays are full of non-existence. The livelihood of markets is all but gone. My gaze is drawn to the bakery shop that Fresh had took me all those months ago, and dim windows telling me that it was closed. There are so many different sweets here. But buy whatever you like. Are you certain? Absolutely. I know nothing makes you happier than a good pastry. How do you know that? Well, it's a nice job to know sort of things. Just how much do you know about me? Nothing that anyone else wouldn't know. What's my favorite color? Blue. My favorite flower? Lilies. I told you that the croissants are famous, right? They are my favorite. I'll get a croissant then. Not a crunch dash? I thought you liked those the best. A croissant, of course, right away. I want to try because you know my favorites, silly. All to throw her aches beats in my chest. Has it been that long since that day? Everyone had so vanished and full of intrigue back then. The palace was so lively, and that there was music that filled the streets and perfumes everywhere. But now, so much has changed. It's so silent. The streets are so empty, and the eyes of the people, they are glaring and unseen, just like the king. I step forward to get a better look without realizing I am only dim aware of Fag's hand, which has not moved from my shoulder. What happened? The queen happened. But the people, she can't take control and take them on, but she can't force love or loyalty. The people are being crushed, princess, and they know who's responsible for it. Fag's voice is harsh, but he still draws silent. I flinch back at the expression of people's faces as they look at us. There is fear in their eyes. I am returned until I fall back into Fag's. His hands tighten on my shoulders. They know that you are her daughter. There are the looks that they have always given me. This is why they have feared me? And Fag throws his cape around me, holding me in the darkness. When the light finally comes back into my gun, I figured it'd come different street. What did you do? Smokes and mirrors. These might have got out of the hand there, so I got us out. He suddenly raised and nudged me forward. Can we return to the palace now? I got on my teeth, wanting to see the town. Is it possible to think that the palace has changed? How is that possible? Sir Mithal said my mother was out. I really need to see her. It's almost dinner time, princess. Your family will be expecting you. Mother will be expecting me. I should see her at dinner, right? Thinking about everything that has transpired, excuse me, I rub my eyes and sigh. Fine, let us return. When I entered the dining room, a familiar figure stands by one of the windows. I have not seen her for 4 years, but she remains unchanged. Standing before me is the only person who loved me. I've never doubted. Mother. My dear one. Dearest one. I moved towards her immediately, like a moth to a flame. Soon I have my arms around her. In a hug. I do not care that I am crying. Mother! I missed you so much. And I've missed you. I can't believe that Mother is indeed alive. I am crying so hard that tears blur my eyes and it takes effort to speak. I thought you were dead. Mother pressed a soft, cold hand to my cheeks. Her touch is more comfortable than I remember. And that is thanks to you that I did not. I am so proud of you, love. I had thought her warmth would be in me longer, but Mother is too quick to draw away from me. I look up at her in confusion and flinch when that her gaze is cold. But I've heard you left the palace today. What have I told you about leaving this palace, Rose? No excuses. You know my feelings on this. But have you truly become so dead why I was absent? No, let's not fight tonight. Not tonight. Yes, Mother. Come on, sit down. I take my usual sit and stare at the now vacant seats in front of me. There is a heavy in my chest as I remember who sat in them. Those are Rod's and M's places, and the king's. I turn to look at him, and I feel my heart fatter than sink. Rose? The king is sitting in his usual seat, but his expression as it was earlier. It's nothing. Mother follows my line of sight and frowns. Mithal told me about your request. I had known that you would request something up from him in exchange for reviving me. But no matter, I have no time to see how plans come true Ferdinand. Where is Sir Arthur? Mary begged Corin with a wave of her hand, and her servants began to place foods on the table. Exiled. There is no place in this kingdom for a snake like him. Then why is Fag still here? My mother looked at me with knowing eyes as the servants spooned soup into our bowls. You still need your guard, my dear. It was unfortunate of me to retrieve him. Couldn't your actions today? I look down, my mind is racing. But enough of this kind of nonsense. We must discuss your training. What? You are the crown princess and you must learn how to be a queen. Eventually you too shall become the turn bearer and I will show you how to control it. It was impossible for me to think that Mother was a witch. But seeing how she spoke so casual of the terror and all that has happened this week, I have no choice but to believe her. Why did you not tell me about the turn about the witches? Dearest one, you were too young. I wanted to protect you. And it's no matter now, for I am here now. I will teach you through practice. I always found that to be most effective. She looked at me sharply. We will begin by punishing those that cursed you. Uh-oh. Fear and shock me flows through me. What? Punish Perfiel and DeLorean. They have acted to keep you from me, from your destiny. They must be punished. Don't you wish for revenge on those that have wronged you? So, protest. No! I can protest. I do not want revenge. Mother set down her spoon. Dearest one, need I remind you how those people of this world will seek to abuse your nature, your provision in order to use you? Have you not experienced that selfishness and greed of people firsthand? Were you not cursed by such people? You're right. But DeLorean and Perfiel, they have been kind to me as well. Mara goes back to eating. Ridiculous. We shall start your lessons tomorrow. For some reason, my eyes are drawn once more to the king. He has not moved since dinners began. His food is still untouched. The king is barely concerned. Mother is right here, so close to me, and yet nothing feels right. You will succeed me in all things, my dearest. Mother speaks and axes snap back to her. I expect nothing but the fullest end to this task. I managed to bring a spoon to my mouth and swallow without tasting. Could I really punish anyone? Oh, dearest one. Mother's voice pulled me from my thoughts. She reached over to brush my hair from my face. She touches my heart and familiar. She is right here, but I feel like it's most distance I have ever felt from her. We're never going to be separated again. Run away. This is scary. Rose, I can't do this. We are not trying hard enough, but I almost as if you do not wish to complete your training. Ever since Mother came back, she has been training me to use magic, but her methods are, well, I cannot bring myself to agree with the ways of her teaching. But this is a little bird no more. The bird is still alive. It's been trying to escape the dorm. It's been trapped under this whole time. Your bleeding heart will be the end of us, Rose. Do you not feel such an every time you have a meal? Do I have to remind you how many animals we kill on a daily basis just for your meal. But this is different. Why can't Mother see that? All you're doing is removing the air in the dome. This lesson is about control. How else are we supposed to tell when you're seed without a such warning? Use a balloon? Oh wait, balloons don't assist probably. Okay, remove the air. Wait, why would I want to learn that spell anyway? Removing the air would be a bad spell to learn, I feel like. Mara raised her hand without any fun, making the air too dumb. Now you see how simple it is. I stare at the bird's lifeless body inside the dome. The sight of bringing back old memories. This happened before, and even then I was not able to save the bird's life. I cannot still save anything. And because you're a hen, another bird must be brought in. How many birds will it take, Rose? I need you to focus, dear heart. We shall continue tomorrow, and I expect you to perform this excellent. Do you understand? Rose? I nod my head. Mara opened her arms and backed me towards her. I ran step towards her so she can rebase me. There's nothing, no warmth in her embrace. There's nothing. My mother strokes my hair before I find gentle and comfort. But now, it feels cold. I do this because I love you, Rose. You understand, yes? The words I want to say are trapped in my throat. I can't. Mar pulls back, a questioning look in her eyes. Say you love me, darling. Of course I love you. I do love her, but things are different now. Yeah, sorry, Rose, but I'm frightened of your mother. I cannot deny who she is, or what she can do. Mars sighs heavily before raising me and turning around. Vag! The door opened and Vag stepped in immediately. He kneels down before us. Your Majesty, take my daughter back to her room. As you command. Vag raised and bows before going to open the door for me. Princess. Good night, Mother. I curse you and follow Vag out of the throne room. Ever since it's disappeared the day I woke up, he has not returned. The hope that he would return and that Vag would be destroyed is slowly departing. Every morning I wake up, I find Vag stretching outside my door. I become more distant. I look at Vag back, and he walks in front of me. How am I supposed to bring Frisk back? Vag is only getting stronger every day. At this rate, Frisk will. Adieu. You know that will not work on me anymore, Princess. Frisk used to come when I said that word, but I no longer see any sight that he hears me. Worry about your night? Let me tell you something that might lift your spirits then. He is not gone. What? He does not think he can afford to lose. He's not given up control without a fight. Though you might want to know. Are you telling me that? You haven't been yourself the past few days. But why do you care? Vag stopped and turned at me. He looked at me the same way Frisk always does, with gentle exception. I could almost believe I am looking at Frisk and not Vag. I've been asked myself the same question. I know these feelings are not my own, and yet, feeling for me. I guess his emotions for you are too strong. It rubbed off on me, and now I'm stuck caring about you too. Vag's expression shades as some sadness creeps into his eyes. Stupid. We both know who you choose when the time comes. What? Vag smiles, but is of any cheer. He turns around and continues walking without waiting for me. Hurry up, princess. He's talking about Frisk. The rest of our walk is silent. The night is deep, dark, and gentle, but I cannot find a peace or sleep in all the calm silence. It has been 2 weeks since Mother has returned, and 2 weeks since I've been able to sleep. Since I've been able to sleep through the night. Most of the days are spent with Mother at my side. When we aren't patrolling out, she is teaching me how to use charm, ready as her successor. Every day, it's only become clearer to me that the kingdom is suffering. The people fear and hate us. It's even worse than it was before. Mother is cruel to everyone, even though I have yet to see them do anything wrong. Is that why Father hates her? Your Highness, I beg your forgiveness. My child was not watching where he was going. The man's son had wandered out in front of us. The soldiers' horses would have crushed the child if the man had not pushed him out of the way. The stop on the road has caused a delay and arrive back to the palace. Mother has been out visiting an old friend, a witch. Mother? There is a blind flash of Mother draws a sharp in the air. With the light curtain, the man had disappeared from us. He collapsed against the wall of a near building. Mother threw him into the building. Let us continue. I love you, Mother. Don't hurt me. But Mother, that man isn't moving. I don't think he's breathing. Come along, Rose. Did you just kill him? I love you, Mother. I love you, Mother. I will never, never betray you. Stay away from me. May I go to my room now? Mother, why did you do that? That man, Are you questioning me, Rose? No, Mother. No. My gaze is cold as steel. Her eyes are sharp as blade. I flinch away from her. You have become soft. The world has changed you. I was asleep. Dad, can I go home now? Don't worry, dear heart. I'll bring you back to what you were. I promise. Mother smiled at me then, and the same smile she would always give me when I was a child. I used to be covered by the sight of it, but now it terrifies me. I would see why. Excuse me. I don't know how you were comforted by your mother at all as a child. Then again, you never left the kingdom, so Mother is always right. Mother is never wrong. Mother is here to protect you. Yeah, no. Scary mother. And the king. I crushed down to the lump in my throat. He is gone. He speaks, he eats, but he is not here. If it were not clear in his action, it's clear when I look into his eyes. He is right there, and yet I miss him. My folks would make me restless. I stand up that I can make my way towards the window as I stare outside. I'm being ridiculous. Why should I miss him when he has nothing but Nelson? I have forgotten how he stopped caring about me when he invited his new family in the palace. He treats them as his kingdom more than he loved me. He never valued me, and yet I would give nothing to go back how things have been before. I would too. The weight on my shoulders and in my heart's overwhelming. The feelings only wound when I turn my thoughts to another person, Frisk. With a sigh, I lean my forward against the cold glass of the window. Fag says Frisk is still fighting, so he must still be there. How can I help him? Frisk, who? Before I turn, someone claps hands over me, resting my words to muffle. Long time no see. That voice. Jill? That's right. Remain calm, Princess. She lowers her hand. I turn and stare, surprised to see her in my room. What are you doing here? She smiled, and some of my weight in my heart lifts. We're on a rescue mission. We? At the moment, a man stepped inside the door. His footsteps cautiously soft. It's Jack? He does not turn confident, but his neck gives me a soft smile. Glad to see you're safe, Princess. I barely believe that the two of them are standing here. It's been so long. We apologize for being late. We've been trying to get into the palace for the last few months, but a powerful shield has been keeping us from entering. Library Field could easily destroy it, but it has meant destroying the palace as well. The last thing we want is compose panic along the people. Mythal and Vag are crafty, and they have been watching over the palace like hawks. And it was difficult to speak with Prince Rod when he has been watched around the clock. We need more time to make sure our rescue mission would not fail. Then how did you find your way inside? Laborproof managed to find a weak spot in the shield, but it's thin and only allows a few people in at once. Jack and I know this place better than anyone. That's why we're here to rescue you. Delory and Lady Privy want to come, but the shield is easily driven witches and fairies. But they won't wait for us at Mythal's, Princess. Was I meant to escape with Rod and Ems before? Yes, that was the only other plan we had, though it didn't go as expected when someone caught a whiff of their plan and set Fag out to kill them. So they tried to save me before I failed. Where did you come from? They looked at me, their expression breathful. What? I cross my arms and look at them. Why would you rescue someone you hate? Princess. Of course we came for you. The part of Mythal, after all. What? Jill looks at me seriously. Let's go. Jill heads towards the door but stops when she knows that I'm not following her. Come on, Princess. How can the Mythal take me back after everything I said and done? How could Mythal set me back? Did they want me to return? I only realize I spoke aloud when Jill answers me. Princess, we wouldn't be here if that wasn't the case. We have to leave now. We're running out of time. I can think about this later. I nod and follow them out of my room. Bye, Mother! Jill leads the way as I follow her. Jack brings up the rear of his eyes, alert. Our surroundings. The night around us is cold and still but quiet, making me more anxious. Fag usually appears in scene like this. Is he not here? And I feel so useless having to be rescued like this. Jack reaches out to pout his hand on my shoulder. We're almost out. I nod, not trusting my own voice. Shh. Jack stares at me as we continue slowly forward, enter it. I figured a move to block our path. And what is this? I could not move. Jack and Jill, however, already drew their sword. A dead man glanced and moved. And here I thought the fairy had give up. Mythals. His voice is low, growled. It is full of mud. It makes the hair on my back stand up at ends. Let us pass. And if I did, where would you be taking the princess? Jill turned. Jack said Mythal from behind him. I could not lie, but it would also be easier. To just kill you. Are you bloodthirsty as ever? But unfortunately, I cannot allow you, Miss Friend, to continue. Cinderella has begun to raise his hand when Jack joined forward. His sword glanced as she raised inside at his arms. Sir Mithal howls, falling hard to the ground as he curls himself, curling his injuries. Go quickly. Aaron quietly, all but shouted as we ran from Mithal. He is in pain. I can still hear his voice calling out from behind us. Do not think this will be so easy, Princess. I ignore him and keep running, not daring to look back. We've been running for a while now. My legs are beginning to go numb. Only a little long, Princess. We'll be out. You're doing well. I cannot do more than nod. I've myself to keep running. I am panicking. I'm slowing them down so much. There, I can see the exit. Watch out. Ellen falls back in an explosion, bumped into me. Moments later, she is once again standing at the ready with her sword. Jack sets his hands firmly on my shoulder, help me regard my bones. What was that? Her face and from the spokes. Her reaction is cold. Rose? Hey, Mother? Mother? I don't want to believe Mithal, but here you are. Princess, get back. Mother turned to face Jack and Jill, her expression full complete. I remember you, Jill. And you as well, Jack. I thought I got rid of Adam's pests. We do not work for Sir Arthur. No, you and your pet have changed allies, haven't you? What? What did you call him? The smile on Mother's face is bright and cruel, sending chills down my spine. Is that not what he is? Mother cautiously waves a hand at Jack, who remains quiet. He follows you around like a lost puppet. He is so desperate for a scrap of attention that he wouldn't do anything for you, regardless of his own price. It's amusing how he will know his commands. Stop it. Come on, Jill. Sir Jack. Good boy, Jack. Shut up. Jill, don't. But his words come too late. Jill rushes forward. Her body is nothing but a blur, her teeth burying a shiver of hatred. Jill is fast, but Mother is faster. She raised her hand and sent Jill back to a flash of light. Jack catches her. And you defied his honor as if he were some poor maiden. How pathetic. Jill's voice is softened as he stared at Jill. Jill, please. She's just trying to get a raise out of you. I know that. Jill throws his hands off, and Ren looked at her eyes as she glared at Mother. Mother remained so in place. She smiled several smiles at her. She's abused by this, nothing more. Get out. Get the princess out of here, Jack. What are you saying? I'm not leaving you here. Once she's safe, you can come back for me. Jill finally turns to look at him, a soft smile on her face. Trust me, Len. This is a long marriage of silence. The two gaze at each other. Unspoken words pass between them, and Jill craves. All right. Both of them tighten their grips on their swords. What are you? Are you done? Mother hasn't moved, but her precious silver tongue is overrun. Her magic smooths the very air. Jill sucks into silence. Her body loosens and seems unperturbed. Right when you are. But does not attack. Instead, she turns to face me with emotion grad. Rose, stop this nonsense! This is no time for games. Be a good girl and go back to your room. Reason with her. Reason with her? Yeah, right. Stand your ground. Hey, Mother, I don't want to go to my room. I don't want to go somewhere to Mythos. I don't trust you. Yeah, that's gonna go well. Dearest one, I stand resistant and take strength from Jack staying prone behind me. What has Mother done is wrong. What she was once isn't right and has never been right. What she's done to the king, what she's done to Algernon, how am I meant to look at her the same way? My voice quiets when I finally spoke. No. What? I take a deep breath and look her in the eyes. No, I will not return to my room. My expression is uneasy and calm as she looks at me. My own daughter would choose these traitors and liars over me. Is love so incarnate to you? Has she ever truly loved me? Mother, if you love is what love is meant to be, I do not want it. Mara is not who I thought she was. When I look at her now, all I can see is what she truly is. Evil. Clearly, you have become corrupted during my absences. I suppose it must be the work of those infinite fairies. Never mind. Once I have destroyed each and every one of them, you will return to me, my daughter. She raised her hand and light curled around her fingers, but before she could cast Jill at my mother's side. Jill slid her sword through the air, through Mother's clothes. Go. Princess, come on. But Jill, if we leave her alone, Jill pulls me away from Mother and Jill. As their battle begins, I hear dun clutter of metal as we run. We can see the flash of the light, even as we back the way we came. Jill, Jack, we have not gone far. I forced Jack to stop. Jack? It's only when I grab his shoulder when he stops to look at me. Princess, we cannot leave her there. Maybe I can convince Mother to let her go. You really think you can convince that witch? I can try. My job is to keep you safe. Mother has all the power of current at her display. I force myself to say it. Jill will not last long. Jack, you have to know this too. Jill must know as well. Jack's jaw hardened as he stares at me, not truly looking at me, but through me. Jack, please. We cannot let Jill die. Not when we might be able to do something about it. Jack stares at the ground, his expression conflicted. I know he cares for her. And that is why we must go back for her. Jill closes his eyes briefly. When he opens it, I know he has made his decision. When we return to the scene, it's very different. Blood spraying the tunnel's walls. Jill is on her knees, bending forward, her face away from us. Mother is nowhere in sight. Peace, guys.